What's up, YouTube? Real quick, thought I'd share with you guys some of the stuff I've seen on YouTube that I wanted to try out myself. You may have seen the Crisco candles online or here on YouTube. I know what you're thinking. I don't see any Crisco. Well, I saved a buck. But my plan anyway, I'm gonna put an actual wick in this guy, see how it burns. And in this one, which is a little thinner, I'm actually gonna just try a birthday candle, see how that burns. I might even try a couple of different types throughout. I just really want to see how it burns. I'm gonna try to put a little bit of oil, essence oil, I think it's called. I've got a few different kinds. I'm gonna try to put a little bit in there just to see if I can flavor them up a little bit. So we'll see what I can come up with, and stick around for a few minutes and we'll see how it goes. All right, real quick, first thing I'm gonna do, you can see I'm gonna set this candle in here, and you can tell I don't really want to fill this up too high because I don't want to get it up above the candle. Guess it'll depend. I'm gonna fill this up, let the oil re-solidify because I'm gonna melt it down, and then I'll shove the candle in later. This one, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to do ahead of time, and my plan is I actually have some chopsticks, and I'll just set the chopsticks on whatever side I need to, on two of the sides, and I can prop that up while I stick it in the refrigerator. So, all right, we got our oils melted down. Hopefully I got enough here. I'm not gonna get too crazy. Again, this guy, oh, I'm gonna end up making a mess. I don't want to fill that guy up too much. And this one, I didn't fill up enough, but I can add a little more to it. But this guy we're gonna go ahead and stick in the fridge, because we're just going to stick the candle in there later. I'm actually going to melt down a little more, fill this guy the rest of the way up, and then we'll stick the wick in, get the chopsticks to make a little cross over it to hold the wick in place while we put that one in the fridge, and then we'll start burning them and see what happens. Alright guys, I did end up adding some of this essence oil to the to my Crisco here. Try to give it a little scent. Worth the shot, huh? Once you got the base of the candle roughly in the center, as you can see, I just got these toothpicks set up. I get these set up in the fridge. Once they cool off, I'll start burning them and we'll see what we end up with. All right, guys, we're back. I got them out of the fridge. I got the wick cut on this one. Happened to work out pretty good. I got about enough left of that one to make another one. And this one, well, we're going to go ahead and just take this candle, try to find center. We're going to try one candle. But to tell you the truth, I got a feeling I probably should have put two in there or done it the other way around. But we're going to go ahead and fire them up. We'll see how long they last, and I'll let you guys know roughly how long they last. These aren't the biggest, but we'll get a general idea. This one's going to burn much better. It's got a better wick on it. We'll see how they do. Hey guys, I'm back real quick. I'm about 45 minutes into these two burning, which surprisingly this birthday candle's doing pretty well. I made a third. And instead of using either a wick or a candle all together, I grabbed just a single piece of toilet paper, rolled it as small as I could, and then I did have to rip it down to be able to fit this. I don't know how easy this is going to be, but I grabbed a toothpick. I'll poke a hole in, try to drive this down in there, see if we can't make a wick out of this toilet paper and see how that burns. And granted, it'll be about 45 minutes behind these, but it's worth a shot. So here we go. And before I do this, I'm also going to grab a little bit of that vegetable oil. Coat the top of this.
Coat the whole thing for that matter. Wax it.
Boy, that's going to be a big wick. And she ain't perfect, but it'll work. But anyway, I don't know how well you can see. I got it in there. We're actually about 50 minutes now behind. We'll get that lit. Got her going, and all right, we'll see how all three of them go now. Real quick, I had some issues with a couple of candles. I'll get into more detail at the end of this video. For now, I'm just gonna say I'm doing another toilet paper candle. This time I'm using a little less toilet paper. Used about a half a sheet instead of a full sheet when I originally rolled it up, then tore it to height. And I don't think you want to quite burn it so long. And the other one, I'm putting 2 birthday candles in instead of just the 1, and see how that does. Aside from that, might have to just stick around, see how I rate these at the end, see how they all turn out. Alright guys, we're back. We're almost to the part of this video that I'm sure you've been waiting for. After all, it's been a couple of days I've been burning these candles. So before I get to that, let me show you something real quick. Alright, if you haven't seen that, you might want to check my playlist, look under preps, and look for brick heat. Check that out, I think it's worth knowing. The other thing I wanted to go over real quick is, I got a 12-ounce can here. And let's see, get them at least in your view. I wanted to kind of show you at least a little bit of what I was working with. Here's the smaller. So you got an idea. I think this is 7 ounce. I don't know. This thing's probably close to 10. I just wanted to kind of show you that. That way you had a good idea of what size jars I was working with. This one that was a little bigger, and even the smaller ones, I actually recommend buying some wicks. They're the best, easiest way to go. And I think on Amazon those cost me $6.35 for 100 wicks. In these, You could literally cut them in half and get two. You just don't have the base for the bottom. Now with that, I'll skip to the birthday candle. I don't really recommend that. I'll just say that right off the get-go. I ran 2, 1, doesn't matter. They don't really like being in all that extra oil, wax, whatever. But this guy here, which I actually just hasn't been out for very long, that's the toilet paper. I'm actually quite impressed with the toilet paper. You don't want to let it run quite so long, maybe 2-3 hours max, and then you're probably going to want to let it blow out or blow it out, let it sit, cool down, and then relight it. I let one of them go, the first one I let it go for I think 5 or 5.5 hours, and it just, everything melted, everything came up, it pretty much ruined it. But if you burn it just a few hours at a time, it's an easy, simple, cheap idea. I'll just skip forward and say that doing this, it's simple, it's easy, and it's cheap. And the other thing I'm going to bring up is this isn't the oil I showed the last time, but these were, I think, $10.99 or $11.99, I don't remember which, on Amazon. They're just little, maybe 0.2 ounces of oil, but you could do, I don't even know, multiple candles out of these. Honestly, I think that adding the oil is the way to go. You'd only have to add, I think it was 30 to 40 drops per 8-ounce wax, where I read. I went about the same with the Crisco. Of course, I'm doing smaller candles, so I did drop off a little bit, but they aren't real scented. You'd want to play around with it yourself. Of course, you'd want to do that anyway, especially if you're doing the toilet paper. I would recommend maybe trying that before you're doing it in an emergency type of situation, but to me, this is all stuff that's not only good to know just in an emergency, but let's face it, if you're the type of person that burns candles, they do say that this doesn't burn as clean as wax, certain waxes. I've got a big enough house, I'm not really going to worry about that. I'm also a smoker, so, you know, I don't really care. To me, it's a good alternative. And you probably have some jars that you could probably pull out of your refrigerator, dump the stuff out that's probably not any good, and use the jar anyway. So there you go. Hope this helps. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this sort of stuff, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Hope to see you again soon, and take care all.